Hello there everyone. So I decided to teach you this really old style fortune telling technique that one of my masters in Japan taught me when I was a kid. And I remember just being like, this is impossible, but it's actually very possible. I haven't done this in probably over 20 years now. But I'm definitely gonna walk it through you guys and I'm gonna show you what I mean. So I bought this random, as you can see it's closed off, this random bag of fortune cookie assortments from Amazon. So what my master did many years ago when I was first trying to understand my psychic abilities was he had a bunch of papers and a bunch of different kinds of fortune cookies that he had put together, and he told me to find the correct message that belonged to me. So basically fortune telling with fortune cookies, which there is no way I could control what fortune is going to be coming out of each one of these because they're each individually wrapped, okay? And it's just based off of intuition. If I trust my own psychic abilities, then I will be able to then fortune tell through any device. Doesn't matter if it's a card or they're little scriptures with intention instead of cookies, was the whole point. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pop them open. And this is gonna be like a similar technique that you use with your runes. Like when you use your runes, you kind of shake the box open and you move it around. And there, okay, we had the first one, it just fell out. Obviously, it was one of the first ones, still totally open. Gonna put it in there, right there. That's gonna be on the physical side. I'm just gonna put my hand deep in here. And I'm gonna grab the next one that I feel is most in resonance. Gonna just do another one. So now we're stepping into the emotional. Let's see. Mental. So I'm gonna definitely be using some cookies that fell out. Everything happens for a reason. So I definitely trust myself. I definitely trust my abilities. I know that if a certain cookie fell out at a certain time, it came out for a reason. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of cookies for me to read and eat. So we're just gonna practice the circle of 11, and I'm gonna leave the cookie bag right here so you can see that I didn't do anything with it. So we're gonna practice with the circle of 11. I put a little fortune cookie in each place. And my intention originally when I started it was, tell me something that I don't know, or tell me something that I need to hear for myself. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. If this fails, this fails. I haven't done this in 20 years. The first time I did it as a kid, I probably got like a 50% on it. But it hit me this morning and I was like, hey, I should try that again and see where I've grown since the last time. So, as you see, it's closed. There's no way I could have manipulated this. So it's already broken, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pulling out, and it says, love is the only medicine for a broken heart. Okay, love is the only medicine for a broken heart, physically. Okay. Oh, and it seems like there's another one. Okay, so all right. I've been definitely working with love physically most recently, and I have been definitely kind of reevaluating how I do things when it comes to love. So here we have the second cookie. I'm gonna leave the cookies with each other, though I'm so tempted to eat it. Listen to life, and you will hear the voice of life crying. Be, to simply exist. That's exactly, I had a conversation like that most recently with Master Miracle and the Patreon lead researchers edition, where Master Miracle is doing one of his latest healing techniques on me, and kind of forced my soul to really do this convulsive purge of what's really been on my mind and bothering me. So this is definitely going to be something that the lead researchers are going to be able to verify physically. That's exactly what I've been dealing with. Open up. So now we're on the emotional side. If you don't open for me, little bag. All right, gonna open that one. And this one says, oops, it's better to ask some questions than to know all the answers. All right, we got that going on. Sorry if I have any black stuff in my nails. I was using paint, and now I have black paint underneath my nails. Some people might be seeing that and being like, ew, he doesn't wash his hands. Nope, I've been trying to scrub it off for days already. Okay, next one. Life enrich from seeking, not from sitting. All right, which is very much so true. Emotionally, okay, I've been wanting to seek out adventure emotionally, that's for sure. It's better to ask questions than to know all the answers, that's for sure. I always live by that mantra so far. Now we're in the mental space. Keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. Okay. And even though some of them are not really making wholehearted sense, they're just kind of like highlighting certain aspects of my character and my life, just remember that these are fortune cookies. So they're just gonna be like tarot cards or anything else where they have like ambiguous messages that must be kind of like cleared out. In the near future, you will discover how fortunate you are. I mean, I already know how fortunate I am mentally. Stop it. Fortune cookies be silly. All right, give me 2 more seconds here. Now we're stepping into the spiritual here. Life is too short to waste time hating anyone. That's for sure. That's for sure. Spiritually, that it definitely does align itself with me right now. Not because I'm hating anyone, but you know, it's a common theme. I've been seeing certain colors from certain people that I know, and it's been kind of like, you know, what's the point of hating anybody? Like, you're walking your own path. Like, it is what it is. I'd be dumb for getting mad at you for doing whatever. Because love is the first feeling people feel, because love is nice, right? You could only have love instead of hating people for what their issues are. So before I open up these down here, even though I'm super tempted, I want to go back, and I grabbed the Ascended Master cards. I didn't shuffle them like I normally do. I just kind of just like threw them on there. But now I'm really curious to see if they line up with the mantra. All right, so we have Durga, I am the eternal truth, with love is the only medicine for a broken heart. That's for sure. The eternal truth is love. Those two definitely match themselves together for sure. And before I read this one, I'm just gonna go ahead. The physical, I'm gonna let you know. El Moya, guide me to the master within. Listen to life and you will hear the voice of life crying, be. Okay, so first of all, in order for me to kind of like give you a little recap right here, what's most recently happening into my life, my eternal truth is understanding, what was this one say? Give me 2 seconds. Love is the only medicine for a broken heart. So most recently I experienced something with someone that I know that really just hurt my feelings, and it kind of like made me feel betrayed, but then ultimately I knew that there was like a higher truth behind this. So these two definitely fit in, and part of my understanding that truth was understanding that I just have to exist in the moment. Like, I have to stop caring about a lot of other things. If I want karma to stop like playing a factor from all of my other lifetimes in this lifetime, I came to understand that the master within, or like my inner mastery, is telling me that I have to just be. I have to stop holding on to the feelings of, did they do this to me in a past lifetime? Is this right here a lesson that's going on from a past lifetime? Like, all these different things of like analyzing how many times has this happened to me, and I keep forgetting, right? This is kind of like what's been eating me up. And I've just come to understand, like, there's no point in understanding how many times it's happened to me. It's just a matter of like, it's, you know, are you gonna stop giving it any energy, and you're just gonna exist as a new being that is beyond what's happening? And that's what I've had to do. So then we have Krishna. I invoke my purest joy and happiness with, it is better to ask questions than to know all the answers. And that's for sure. Like, because of this, I keep not only existing, but I keep understanding that there's more to simply being than just being. Like, you can't be comfortable with just being. You have to understand that being is something that can be directed, even though you're simply being. And I've been falling more and more into alignment with that in my reality, and just kind of like, you know, just knowing that like there's more answers to any aspect that I'm actually experiencing in this moment. I would still totally 100% say that this is an accurate reading. Then we have Sanat Kumara, guide me to the soul of the ancient scrolls. So guide my soul to the ancient scrolls. And it says, enrich your life from seeking, not from sitting. Which, you know, emotionally, that's what I've had to do. Like the ancient scrolls, I'm going to Egypt in March. Like, guide me to the ancient scrolls. I'm going to my old kingdom in Egypt. That's like the main thing I'm going to be going for. And then, you know, it's definitely enrich your life by seeking, which I am seeking. I'm trying to seek more understanding of who I've been on earth for such a long time, and understanding what I did last time. And if by going back to Heliopolis, I'm going to remember some really awesome stuff. So still totally emotionally in alignment. And let's go back into the mental. We have Lady Nala. I open myself to the greater family within with the mantra that says, keep your face to the sun and your shadows will never seek and you will never see the shadows. Keep your face to the sun and you'll never see the shadows. Which is very true. Mentally, like I've been staying aware of like the greater family construct, not only like personally with me, but with my soul family, with my physical family. I've been definitely allowing myself to see things not only just for myself, but for like the great, like every action that I've been doing lately has not been for myself. It has been for the ripples that are being created. Like my own individuality is to exist, and like every existence second that I have is creating a ripple. And how do I want to control the ripple that's being put out into the universe so it goes in the exact direction that I want it to go? So that one's definitely still working its way. And the way I've been understanding that is like all of humanity is a family, and all, like, regardless of how I react, if it hits a temple member, or it hits my partner, or it hits a friend, these are still all components of my family. And I need to understand that even a stranger is still a component of my family, even though it's a really distant cousin, right? And we don't always love our cousins, but I still have to step into understanding that love is part of that aspect of going with that. We have Estelle, I am a warrior of consciousness with, in the near future, you will discover how fortunate you are. Which, you know, a warrior of consciousness, how fortunate I am. You know, I've been really kind of just sitting down with this too, and understanding like, wow, like I've reached really profound understandings of consciousness, and I can do things for people in a short amount of time that before would take me days and weeks to do, and like I can do it in just a couple of hours or a couple minutes. And I have been really seeing how like fortunate I am in that aspect. I've been also super fortunate to see like how, you know, all the efforts that I've been putting out there to create a community for people to feel safe and to feel engaged and to grow is feeding and growing. Like that's something else that I've been like, wow, I'm like heavily blessed to be able to like know what I know, and then use that knowledge. Like just the fact that all the people that we're interacting with right now, I've interacted with them at some level, you know, in another timeline. Like me just knowing that has made my whole entire life easier, because I know that what I'm seeking is seeking me as well, right? And that's been like one of those things like, wow, you're so fortunate because you don't have to manifest as heavily anymore. or what you thought manifestation had to be. Then we have Amaterasu. I have the clarity of the sun. Here we have like 2 sun aspects. We have some love. You can see kind of like how the cards in the fortune cookies are all kind of connecting with each other in mantras. So we have Amaterasu with life is too short to waste time hating anyone, because I have clarity of the sun. That's for sure. That's the highest truth. These two, the spiritual and the physical, already are combined together. Like these two are interlinked already. Both the fortune cookie reading and the actual cards are in alignment with each other. So you're seeing so far, I think I would say we're probably past half now when it comes to whether or not I've grown since a child. Let's see here. This is actually kind of fun. The next one is going to be Ganesha. My path is clear. So Ganesha and Amaterasu have been some peeps, and Krishna too have been popping out lately. So my path is clear with Ganesha, and it says, love is the first feeling people feel because love is nice. So here, physically and spiritually, we're all just focused right now on love. That should be literally all that it is, because life is too short to hate anyone. Spiritually, here we have a lot of sun concepts telling you just keep focusing on love. Just keep seeing like the blessings. You'll see that most recently you're going to see how blessed and fortunate you are. I invoke my purest joy and happiness. And in other decks, Krishna also is talking about like being fortunate of your current blessings. So these two already connect with each other, and like my blessings lie within my warrior consciousness. We're talking about family with these 2 cards over here. We're talking about love and like expanding past these issues that we've been dealing with, and this kind of like invoking a higher sense of being through our blessings. All right, so far so good. Let's do our next card. Which tells us, never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. All right, interesting. This one was already kind of open, but we're still gonna read it. It's easier to go down a hill than up it, but the view is much better at the top. It's easier to go down a hill than to go up it, but the view is much better at the top. That is very true. That is very true. If you don't understand what that mantra means, it's like, your perception of what happens and how you, like, the end result of the manifestation and the reward is usually the higher payoff, depending on how you're looking at it. Let the spirit of adventure set the tone. All right, so there's 2 spirits of adventure right there, okay? There's talking about traveling and like out not sitting. The spirit of adventure, we know that we're already going, I'm going to Egypt. So this right here is in alignment. Now let's flip over these cards. We have Ashtar. All that I seek is found in me, and this one was never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. All that I seek is found in me. Okay, all the answers are found inside of me. Okay. Kathumi, which is saying I open myself to the source of all that is, and his little mantra was, it's easier to go down a hill than up it, but the view is much better at the top. Okay, so being kind of like I'm not sure exactly just yet how that all translates. We have the white buffalo woman. I open myself to the wisdom of the divine feminine. Let the spirit of adventure set the tone. So definitely this is in alignment. Like I am definitely going with the flow. I've been surrendering, using my divine feminine here. a lot to like not only change how I see reality and how I interact with reality, but like how I even interact with myself and how I process my own reality. It's how I've been really just giving into the divine feminine. And I definitely shared that in some episodes of November 2019 and December 2019 on Patreon. I open myself to the source of all that is, and this mantra was, it's easier to go down a hill. So yeah, I've been definitely dealing with that. I know what it's talking about. Like for me, I've been understanding that I know all this alchemy, but essentially I've found the grand answer behind all alchemy. But then I've also been like, okay, what's the point of doing alchemy if I now understand this one critical piece of information that sets the tone for everything? But alchemy is still really fun to do because you can do all these different combinations and all these different techniques. So why would I stop doing alchemy just because I found like the most concrete answer to alchemy? And that's something that's been really like coming to me. Then we have Ashtar, which is saying like, all that I seek is found in me, and kind of like saying like never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat, which has been also something that's been a reminder for me, because I did hit that peak where I'm like, well, I understand the gist of all energy, and I understand like the greater answer to kind of like what I've dedicated my entire life to. So now what? You know what I mean? And it did kind of feel like a defeat because I felt stuck. And if you're a lead researcher, you're definitely going to hear that in the podcast of Master Miracle's experiment. That's exactly what I've been going through. So, and I just feel like in order for me to really evolve past this, I need to surrender into traveling. And that's something I've been sharing so much with the people around me. Like, I need to get out of here. Like, it's not about like I don't like being here, but I just feel now at this point in my life, I have to get out of here. Like, there's something else out there that I need to do. So then we're gonna do the last fortune cookie. Keep a cool head and bide your time. A chance is bound to come. All right. We got Oshun. So Oshun is telling you, I love myself. Another one of those vibrations of I love myself. Be cool-headed and bide a chance, because a chance is bound to come. All right. Which I definitely have been understanding that, like, I've been focusing more on loving myself, because I understand more so at this level right now, like, love is more than just what I've thought love is. And like the way I've been trying to connect with like concepts of love to heal myself beyond like the issues of love that I've dealt with, it doesn't necessarily work for me. Like, it works for other people, but it's not working for me. And like, why have I put myself in this mindset of like I have to constantly, you know, love myself in the fashion that everyone else does? Like, I might have my own style of loving myself and connecting with myself. Oshun in our other deck also tells us to drink a lot of water, and which is letting go of a lot of emotions and ancestral patterns, and just kind of like, you know, keeping your mind open for like a second chance, like an open chance. That's something that's been resonating too so much in my life, because you know, in my Story of Excel podcast, I tell you guys that I got to this point after my accident and everything that like I was just like, if the answer is not here, I'm willing to go wherever I need to go to get it, or I'm willing to just like forfeit my life if this is all that there is. And because of that, I was given the option to review what was going on in my life, and I was able to actually, you know, like change a few things when it came to how I even realize my life works. One of the things I've been really focused on too lately is my kidneys have been hurting, and my kidneys, the last time I went to go do kidney stuff, like they couldn't find anything on the scanners, and I can tell that what I'm dealing with right now has to do with energy, has nothing to do with the physical body. So what do my kidneys control? Fear. What fear am I still holding on to that I need to let go of, that's obviously holding me back. And that's what I've been really focusing on, loving that fear and giving that fear less of a reason to be present, because all I want to do is exist in love. And that's exactly like, because of me working on that, like I've been able to see my thoughts morph and shift when it comes to like even dealing with other people and catching how I really absorb like my reality. So 100, I'm going to be 100% honest. Like if I had to grade this, I would just say it was about like a 90, 91%, 92%. It wasn't easy to like fully see, like by the cookies alone, I wouldn't have been able to fully piece together everything that was being spoken about. So that's why I'm not going to give it 100%, even though it obviously did line up. Like I haven't done this in a while. I wouldn't have felt comfortable just doing fortune cookies for someone and saying like, hey, this is what's going down, right? So that's why I'm not going to give it 100%. But I'm going to give it a 90, 92% in grading, because it did line up with the cards that were coming out. And once we had a little bit more supporting information from the cards themselves, I was able to tell you exactly, oh, this is talking about this and this and this and this and this that's going on in my life right now, which is all very factual, and they all interconnected, just like the other spreads that I've done before with other cards. Okay, pay attention to how, like, you know, my other spreads, doesn't matter how I layer them out, they can speak in certain sentences, right? Well, this is doing the same thing. They're speaking in teams, but they're speaking in unison as one whole collective picture. And this is just with a random, I just got this bag in today, okay? Like from Amazon, I just got the bag in today. I just opened it like before I did this video. The box had just come in, and I said, right now is the time to do this, because I don't want to have any like mix up. Why was I able to do this with fortune cookies? Okay, how was I able to do that? I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. If everything already exists and everything is already playing out, there was no need for me to hope or want fortune cookies that were going to align themselves with this reading. Why? Because this reading already happened, and I knew that I was going to do this reading, and I wasn't going to complicate how I did the reading. So then that was my first thing, understanding that level of understanding, right? Like this was, you know, this already happened. I don't have to really focus on making sure the right bag gets summoned to align itself with the reading. The next thing I had to do was put in my mind that, all right, the bag that I'm buying is going to already be the bag that is infused with the energy that's going to fill in my reading. And it's going to be in alignment with my reading project that I want to do. That's exactly all I said. And I knew it. I didn't say it. I knew it. I felt that this bag was going to have the fortunes that align with my ultimate reading when I did this project. All right. I didn't know when I was going to do this project, and I didn't have like a set date or anything. I just knew that was going to align with this. Bam. That was it. And I didn't have any other questions. I bought the bag intuitively. I felt like, okay, this is the bag that I want to buy on Amazon. And I know that the bag that gets selected and sent to me is going to be an alignment bag. And then that was it. That's all I did. The next thing is, you need to understand that it doesn't matter the tool that you're using. Everything is just an extension of your own consciousness. So if these cookies are mine when I purchase them, just like any other deck, you know, and sometimes the deck will pick you out instead. If that's the case, if that's how it works, this deck already, these fortune cookies already wanted to be with me, because they're already an extension of my consciousness, and they knew what I was going to do, and they wanted to help out with this project right here. Do you see how my mind is like not just stuck on like, I hope I find the right bag and I hope this works? Like, no, it's like, I know this is going to work. I know the bag exists. I know it's already happened. Like, and I know that the bag that I'm seeking to do this project already wants to be with me, because it's like this mutual honor. Like I wholeheartedly feel through the laws of feng shui that these cookies are so proud of themselves, because they had the opportunity to step into this reality in this moment and show you guys that your consciousness is so much more, and your consciousness exists even within fortune cookies. I can feel that coming off of the fortune cookies the same way I would feel something coming off of my deck telling me, God, I can't stand this person, or like, oh, like, you know, like there's a master in our presence, you know, like I had a relationship with these cookies, this deck of cookies, before they were actually physically in my reality. All right, because time and space is an illusion, so technically I just ordered myself in the form of fortune cookies on Amazon so I could come here and read myself through an extension of myself in cards and little fortune cookies. So I can then teach it to myself on this video. So that's one of the things that you kind of like have to like keep in mind here when you're doing anything like that. It's not, everything's just an extension of you. You don't want to put like all of your ability into your runes or your cards or whatever. Like you do have to understand that they're an extension of you. A lot of times readers will completely give all the energy into their cards and give the cards the wholehearted, like, you know, ownage of like, oh yeah, you know, my cards read everything. No, we read everything. My cards and I can read anything. And that way, you know, whenever something happens and you're in a pickle and you need to draw like planetary symbols on a piece of paper and just randomly, you know, shuffle it up just to get a quick answer, or maybe you're walking around and you're looking for a sign, you can definitely do that. Like, shamanism is you, all right? Shamanism is not just a practice. Shamanism is a level of existence. Your psychic abilities are not something you should be turning on and off. They should be perpetually on, just like your breathing is perpetually on. Your heart is perpetually on. Your psychic abilities are perpetually on. The last thing that I want you to just like always remember is don't complicate it. You know, be in the flow. Don't question it. Just go with it, and everything's gonna play out. Let me know what you think about this little exercise that I did with fortune cookies. I thought it was super cute and fun. All right, I'll see you in the next one.